Hi everyone, it is 17th of May and it's like my fifth day of quarantine and I cannot wait to get out of quarantine. But I have to be patient because that's the only option I have. Everyone has to quarantine for 21 days and it's a really tough and long time. So I decided that I'm going to sit down a little bit and talk to you guys about my whole process of flying back home, how it is so hard to get the flight back home, and why I decided to go home in first place. So firstly, I signed up for the slot to go back home on the embassy page since like February, or like even before that. The embassy is going to examine like your age, your case, and everything, and if they think you're qualified and you actually need to go home, then they will give you a slot of flying back home. Actual flight information will not be sent to you at least like until 5 days prior to arrival. So yeah, I waited from February and then I finally know that I have the flight in the beginning of May. And as soon as I got the information, I have to book the flight, and luckily the school helped me a lot in booking the flight and assisting me with like flying at least from Albuquerque to DC, and then from DC I'll take a flight to Japan, and then from Japan to Vietnam. Of the unexpected nature of this flight and its humanitarian rescue flight, my parents decided that I'm going to leave campus 4 days earlier. So the flight was on 10th of May, but then I left campus on the 7th of May. So I left 4 days before graduation for the second years. And it's actually really sad because graduation has always been one of my favorite event that I'm like looking forward to. I prepare everything for graduation. I was supposed to perform with African chorus, and then I have my dress for graduation. I have all the plans for graduation, but then I had to leave earlier, and it's just really sad. Despite of that, I have 2 extra days to hang out in DC and just to go look around the city, and it was actually really nice. And then after 2 days staying in DC with my mom's friend, I got to the airport, and the actual journey was actually really challenging. Not in the way of flying, but mostly because we have to wear this whole suit, like this safety suit in COVID time. It's really hot. The flight from Japan to Hanoi up to Ho Chi Minh City took like 6 hours. I had to wear that the whole time, and I just found it really hard to sleep on the plane, so I just feel super tired. Also, just a story, flight from DC to Japan, it was 12 hours or like 14 hours long, and I was sandwiched between 2 people. And the thing is that, okay, if you hear the story, please learn from me and actually like speak up when you don't actually have your seat, because my seat was actually next to the window, but there was already someone who's like an old woman. She already sat there, so I didn't want to like interrupt and didn't want to like do anything, so I just sat in the middle seat, and then I was sandwiched, and it was horrible the whole flight. Moving on, let's talk about quarantine. After the actual journey of going back to Vietnam, I arrived at I think 1 a.m. in Vietnam in Tân Sơn Nhất Airport in Ho Chi Minh City. I actually live in Hanoi, but the flight only leads to Ho Chi Minh City, so I'll have to quarantine in Ho Chi Minh City for 21 days. And you have 2 options. You can either stay together with everyone in like a military thingy, or you can choose to quarantine alone. So now it's like 6:45 a.m. and obviously I'm not really up yet, but I had to get up because there's like a procedure and a rule that I have to submit the menu that I want for next day, and also my temperature every 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. every day, so I need to get up and do that. is at like 7:30. So I requested the breakfast through the menu the other day, and yeah, they sent it in the morning. There's always like a lot for breakfast, so there's like a kind of phuong pho, so like soup and noodles that you choose every morning, and they will give you food. And there's like default option, which consists of like bread, eggs, and ham. After breakfast, I would just try to work a little bit, and lately I've been coming up with a new organization method by Notion, and it's actually helped me a lot with different tabs. So if any of you want me to share this kind of like organization, you can comment down below. But I don't know, maybe this just worked for me, but we'll see. Like for now, when I start thinking when I'm actually back home, I feel like this has been an accurate decision, because although I have to quarantine for a long period of time, I actually feel like I need to go home, and going home makes me feel so much better. I also know that next year, if I wanted to go home, it might also be difficult because of COVID, but for next year, when I already have my university and everything, it's totally okay to like stay in the US. But this year, it is vital for me to go back home and meet my family, because I miss them so much. And also I miss the food. Oh my god, I miss the food crazily. And after 1 year of studying abroad, I realized this one thing, and I think it's super valuable. The further away you are from home, the more you appreciate your own cultures, and the more you think about your family and you appreciate where you come from. So basically, I think that's the video, and I'm only going to show like one day, because every day is the same, and I have a lot of plans for the summer, but obviously I cannot do all of them because of COVID. But the most important thing going back home for me is that I will meet my family, spend more time with them, and I'll bring so much more food back to the US next year. Okay, thank you all for watching. I know I've been gone for so long, and I would try to make more videos, because I also want to keep these memories and I want to look back at them. It's really fun.